Hi, and welcome to another episode of Josh Makes Stuff. I don't know what to call this, so that's as close as anything. Today, we are going to be making donuts. Now, I understand there are many different kinds of donuts. For our purposes, we're making yeast donuts, which is different than cake donuts, and we are going to be making just the traditional round donut with the hole in the middle. We're not filling anything because, quite frankly, piping bags and I don't get along, and I don't want to have to deal with it. So we start off, the first thing I've actually done is in this pot I warmed milk. It's a cup of milk and 5 tablespoons of unsalted butter. I warmed that before the video started to melt the butter. That's about 178 degrees right now, so we're going to let it sit and cool. Too hot. In this mixing bowl, I have 1/3 of a cup of plain white sugar. To that, I'm going to add 1 package of active dry yeast. We have the sugar and the yeast together because we got to wake up the yeast. And one way we do that is water. And we want to have it warm water so that it starts waking them up. Most people, most creatures, and yeast is definitely a creature, even if it is only single-celled, are hungry when they wake up. That's what the sugar's for, getting them to eat. So we want a half cup, just a tiny, tiny half cup of warm water. That is water between 105 and 115 degrees Fahrenheit. So I'm going to actually check this to make sure before I grab any water. 109, 112. Tweak that just a bit. Like I said, half a cup. It's not a lot of water. Put that in there. Stir it around to do some dissolving. Josh, why aren't you using the actual mixer to do this? Because there's so little in here right now that if I hook this in, it's not going to touch it. So now that it's mixed, it's going to sit and it's going to bloom for the next 15 minutes. And in that 15 minutes, that's going to cool. In fact, let me take it off the hot burner so it has a better chance to cool. That comes down to about 110 degrees. We'll be back to combine the two and get this process started. Okay, and we're back. Our yeast has actually started to bloom. You can see it nice and foamy in there. And what we're going to do now is we're going to grab our cooled butter and milk mixture. It's down to 110. We're going to put that in with the yeast and sugar. There we go. All right, scrape to get as much out of the pot as is possible because we don't want to leave anything really behind. Got to be careful with our measurements, don't you know? All right, so once we have done that, what I want to do next is, well, first grab a paper towel so I don't make as much of a mess and make my wife mad. Then we're going to start the mixer and just kind of mix that together. Okay? All right. Now, in this bowl, I have 2 eggs, which I am currently beating. We're going to get those mixed up. And then what I want to do is I want to temper the eggs just a little bit. It's not like the mixture in the mixing bowl is super hot, but we want to make sure that some of it gets a chance to bring up the temperature of the eggs, because I don't know about you. I don't particularly care for scrambled eggs. So we're going to take just a couple spoonful of the warm mixture and put it in with the eggs and just stir the eggs as we're putting it in so that we don't have any heat problem. It's probably best if I actually use the smart hand that I have, that's my right hand, to actually bring the liquid over so I don't make quite as much of a mess. Okay, now I understand that's only 3 real quick, tablespoons or soup spoons or whatever you want to call it, but it's not that hot of a mixture, so I don't really feel the need to do too much. Adding that back in, scraping down the bowl to get all of the egg and everything else. Oh boy, now we're going to grab our vanilla. Forgot to pull that out. Drop that in. Good teaspoon and a half of vanilla into the mixing bowl. And then what we're going to do is we're going to give this a little bit of time on low just to combine everything. Still not much going on in the mixing bowl at this point, but we are making sure that everybody gets mixed together. Okay, now what we need to do next is actually putting in the dry ingredients. This is flour and a little bit of kosher salt that we're going to have to add. Now we are looking for between 4 and 5 cups of flour because it's raining outside right now. I'm thinking this is going to be more towards 5 cups. So, all right. In goes a teaspoon, just a scant teaspoon of kosher salt. And then we're going to put that aside, back where it actually belongs, so I don't get yelled at again.
I hope you all enjoyed the voiceover portion of our event, because I'm an idiot and forgot to get my mic out. This is what happens when I'm running back and forth between 2 things and trying to film this video while doing other stuff. Okay, where was I? We have added our tablespoon of salt, and we're going to start adding flour. Again, you could measure this by weight. Because it's not an exact amount, I'm not going to. So, first up, I'm putting in 1 cup, and I'm using a 1/3 cup measure. 2 cups, actually. That was 1. This is the 2nd cup. And this is all-purpose flour. You don't need bread flour for this. You don't need special flour. And we're going to start slowly bringing this together. We are trying to form a ball of dough, and it is going to take a little bit of effort. This does not need to be perfect, but I'm going to scrape down the sides. So that I don't miss anything. All right, so this is going to be cup number 3. Okay, and again, low and slow. Low and slow. See, it's starting to come together. It is still very liquidy. That's okay. We're not even at the minimum number of cups we think we're going to need, so that would be this next addition to cup number 4. 1, 2, and 3. All right. Let's see where we go from here. All right. And you can see it's actually starting a little bit to kind of form the ball. It's not quite there yet, but it's getting there. You see some of it's pulling away. So we're going to stop. I keep thinking I locked the mixer, and I didn't, but muscle memory makes me lock it and unlock it. Don't know why. All right. Scrape it down, scrape it down.
Probably because you've been baking like my entire life.
Longer than your entire life, kiddo. All right. Okay. All right, so get off my finger. Any kind of flour-based dough is incredibly needy, as you see. It does not want to let go. Love me. All right, so we've done 4. So I'm going to add the 1/5 cup of flour. You can already see a difference in the way the dough is moving. I am locking it this time, because we are starting to get something that actually resembles dough. I'm going to give it a little bit more speed, but okay, this is important. See how it's still stuck to the sides of the bowl? Can you see that in the camera? That means we need more flour. We're trying to get it to a point where it forms a ball and pulls away from the sides entirely. So it's 1/3 cup above the 5. Again, I'm blaming the humidity because flour plays rough with humid weather. All right, that's just about there. There we go. All right. Okay. Unhook this. See, it is largely pulled away from the sides. Taking you down. Now you have a choice here. You can use a dough hook on your mixer, or you can do it the old-fashioned way and do it by hand. I think I'm doing it by hand because that's just, it makes more sense to me. So if you're going to do it by hand, what you want to do is spread some flour down on your work surface. And then pop this bowl off of here. Give me my spatula. Oh. And we're going to drop this very, very sticky, or as I said, kneady dough down onto the flour. No, it's okay. Don't let go. Why would I want that? Why would I want this to be simple? All right. And then we got to go back in here. I tried to not be messy. I tried to use the spatula, but sometimes there are things that your hands are made for, and they work better than any tool that we've invented. Take a little flour, throw it in the bowl. It will help with that stickiness and convince this stuff to come off. Now see, if I was one of them chef type people or one of the normal people who post videos online, I wouldn't show you this bit because this is tedious. But this is what happens to real people when they bake. And it is not curated for Instagram or TikTok, or designed simply to make people jealous of what you do. All right, there. We've gotten everything that we possibly can out of there. Now, time to knead. Which, if you have cats, you know what that looks like, because they do it to you. We want the dough to be mostly stick-free. Like, I don't want it to be clinging to me, but it can still have a little bit of spring to it. See what I'm doing? Turning, folding, turning, folding, pressing. This is the classic way to knead dough. That is knead with a K for anyone playing at home. Once we have the majority of this flour incorporated and our dough is where we want it to be, in that, like I said, it's not, so we have a nice bare patch here. It's not clinging to me. You hear a little bit of, well, I hear a little bit, I don't know if the mic will pick it up, a little bit of tackiness, but it's not sticking to my hand. That's what we're looking for. That's where we want this to be. Now, make it into sort of a ball. We're going to put it back in the mixing bowl with olive oil. You could use any kind of oil that you have available. I have olive oil available. Plop. Coat the ball. Coat the ball. This helps ensure the dough does not dry out on you. Cover it with a tea towel or wet paper towel. Let it sit for an hour. It's going to hydrate the gluten strands and do all kinds of fun stuff with the yeast burping and expanding. In about an hour, it'll double in size, and we'll be back to do more stuff. And we're back. It's been an hour. Our dough is poofy. Poofy. So we're going to turn it out like that onto our mat. I'm going to do something I normally don't do. I'm busting out the rolling pin, because here we need to make our dough about a 1/4 of an inch to a 1/2 inch thick, so that we can then begin the process of cutting out our donuts. Come on, let it go. Let it go. Harley hates when I just start randomly singing Let It Go. Possibly because I tell the children to let things go all the time.
With that song.
With that song, yeah. That is true. All right. All right. Now, to cut the donuts. But I don't just want to cut the big shape. I have to get the middle too. Like that. Come on. Wow. We're going to put our cut piece there. I'm just going to roll this into a ball for our donut hole. See that again? Oof. I recommend that if you folks at home want to actually do this, that you get sharper cutting implements than I have. This thing does not want to do the job. But we'll do the best we can. Yes, I am not perfect. I am off center. Oh well.
Did you feel me looking at you?
Yes, I felt the weight of your gaze, Harley. I'm not an artiste like some people in this house. And I've never cared if something looked pretty or not. I care how it tastes. I've never heard you guys complain.
Because it's good.
That's right, it's good. Really, that's all this is at this point, is cutting out shapes in the dough. And then once we're done, we're going to have, dough that we need to reform, roll out, and cut again. And all of this will sit for 45 more minutes while it rests and puffs back up. I know that is a lot of time to spend on donuts when you could just go and buy them. When I tell you that these will be fresher and tastier than anything you can buy at a donut shop or at your grocery store, I mean it. Even though this is the first time I've ever made them, I guarantee you they will be better than what you get at the store. I would stake what little reputation I have on it. Okay. Now there are some recipes that I've read with regard to our donuts that tell you that you need to, when you re-roll everything into a ball, that you need to let it sit for 45 more minutes so that the gluten can recover its springiness. I don't know that I believe that, so we're going to kind of test it, because I'm not going to wait. I've already eaten up way too much of the day just doing this. That might be, yeah, it's too small an area. And heck, I might have cut these too thin, or rolled these too thin, but we'll find out once we are done letting them rest. So, take this. Now you could take all of these little rounds and work them back in, but I have visions of donut holes in my head and what we can do with those. So I'm going to have a pan full of just donut holes. All right. You guys go over there, and we're going to roll this one out again.
It'll cooperate.
It'll cooperate. Just give it time. See? It wants to cooperate. All right, there we have it. I'm going to make these a little thicker than the first batch, just to see what happens. Get in there. Okay. Little thicker. Good Lord. May have gone overboard. I have corrected in the extreme. But we shall see what happens after these guys have a chance to puff. All right, I'm going to finish cutting these out and reusing and re-rolling the dough. But I'm going to let them rest for 45 minutes. And when we come back, fry time. And we're back. We have given some time for our dough to rest and get used to its new fun and exciting shape. And I'm waiting for the last few degrees for my oil to heat up. So while we wait, talk about our rig and how we've got this set up. I've got the first batch of dough still under its towels right there. I have a nice big, thick Dutch oven. It's old, but it is cast iron with ceramic around it, filled about halfway with canola oil, which is a neutral oil. I have my candy thermometer telling me what the temperature is, which right now it is a hair below 350, which is what we're going for. I have here a drying rack. The dough is going to go in there, then it's going to go right there, and I have a spider to pull the dough out of the oil. I also have a couple extra racks sitting on the side. That way I can slowly swap them out. Even our tiny, tiny looking little guys have puffed up a bit in the intervening time. This poor one that is so off center. You will be our first victim. It's at 350. I'm going to cut this back just a bit. In we go. In we go. And I think I can fit a third. Now, these don't need to fry for long, so we're keeping an eye on them.
That was almost dangerous.
Almost only counts in horseshoes and hand grenades, Harley. I know you hate that. We're looking for browning. And then we flip. Okay, don't cooperate. That's fine. That one cooperated. Look at that. Lovely fried dough. Yeah, a little bit longer. Then we drain. Take to our drying rack. Drain. Take to the drying rack. That's it. It is that simple. And it is that quick. So I'm actually going to just pick up 3 this time rather than going back. All right. Drop in away from you. Away from you. Keep your eye on the thermometer to make sure it doesn't go too low. Keep these guys moving and grooving in the oil. We have a lot of frying to do, but once we get through that, we'll let these cool a bit, then we get to talk about glazing. And that, honestly and truly, is where the real fun begins, because you can play with the flavors. Almost. Almost. You cannot walk away while you're doing these, or else you'll end up with burnt donuts. And that is not good in any way, shape, or form.
It's kind of sad.
It is sad. Thank you for encapsulating that, Harley. Now, the donut holes. Little balls of love. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Sure. Oh, it smells like a carnival in here. Fried dough, carnival. No? Nobody? These, I think I'm just going to keep turning. See how fast that one went? Nice and brown. There we go. Come on. Why do some of these just not want to behave? Oh my Lord. Turn! This is another thing that you deal with at home that you do not see professional chefs dealing with on their videos. Nothing cooperates. Nothing. Doop. Turn over, you butt. Oh, my Lord. I'm glad that I amuse you, Harley, the camera person. I'm glad you're enjoying this. There we go. And now I'm going to take this, bring it over here, and get another drying rack to go there. Aha! And then we uncover our next batch of dough. Yay! Uh-huh. Okay. I'm only going to show one more of these because you guys don't need to sit through all of this. You just want to get to the fun part, I'm sure. But I want to get one of these, a couple of these big honking ones from the second group. Jiminy Christmas, these things are huge.
Dibs.
There are no dibs when you're not the one cooking. Okay. Oh. Oh, those look so good. Yeah, maybe could have gone a little longer, but that's okay. Oh, these just, I mean, they look delicious. They smell even better. Oh! And then glazing them, oy. Oy, that's going to be so good. Okay. Boop. All right, ladies and gents, I am going to finish frying this stuff. I'm going to let it cool, and when we come back, we're going to talk about several different glazes because we are going to get some nice flavors going. Frying's done. It's hot, I'm sweaty, but this has to happen now. We're getting our glazes ready because we're going to do multiple flavors. What we have is 3 bowls, each with a cup of heavy cream in it, and then we're going to add 2 cups of powdered sugar. So that's a 2-to-1 ratio for those who like to do the math thing. Yada-dee, yada-do. Cut that new bag open. New bag smell. No. All right. See, that's kind of the consistency we're looking for with this first batch of glaze. Just like that. Here, and we're going to mix up the second batch. Yay! Come on. No, it's cool. Take your time. There we go. And lasty. Okay. Close this up for the moment. Oh, there's the clip. Thought I'd lost it. I know, it seems like in such a small kitchen you shouldn't be able to lose anything, but believe me, we lose stuff all the time.
It disappears.
Yeah. I blame the gremlins also known as children.
Excuse you?
No, no, excuse you, child. You and your siblings, particularly the ones that are no longer here, have made things disappear from this kitchen on a shockingly regular basis. Okay. Josh, why did you make 3 bowls? Because I want different flavors. Bowl numero uno is going to go old-fashioned vanilla. Like that. Bowl number 2, we're going to make strawberry. And because we want to be able to tell the difference, a drop of red food coloring. Excuse me, camera person. Red spatula. Okay, and finally, lemon. That might be a lot of lemon. Whoopsie! And this claims to be lemon yellow food coloring, so a little bit of that. So that we can tell the difference. I don't have a yellow spatula, so purple. Okay. There it is. Our 3 glazes. Now, it's about dipping the donuts. Which I'm going to do this. I'm going to put them on top of the towel so that after they're glazed, they can drip and not make a horrible mess that will get me in trouble with my wife. Okay. Camera person, you want what flavor?
Strawberry.
You want strawberry.
I love strawberry.
There you go.
Thank you.
You let me know how it tastes. You can see it's nice and light and fluffy in there. That is phenomenal. I suppose I should probably glaze one of these.
Yeah.
Not the big one though. What we're going to do here is I'm going to steal one of these small ones and drop it in the lemon. Flip, flip. Lift, run off. And there you have it. That is how you make donuts at home. If you like this video, if you like what I do, please hit the like button and maybe subscribe. See you guys here next week.